Hey guys, this is Josh Lineberry. I'm getting ready to change brake pads in my 2008 Kia Sedona, and I'm going to show you how to do that in case you're deciding to try and do it yourself or just save a little bit of money. If you professionally get this done, it can cost you about 150 bucks. This is costing me about $30. So let me show you what I got. Now I got the tire off already, and I got it jacked up, and I got a jack stand underneath there. For safety, it's pretty important in case your jack fails. You want to have a jack stand. Okay, let's take a look at this. To take your caliper off, you got two screws up here. You got one screw here. You got another screw right down here. There it is, right there. You're gonna have to take those off. Oh, the tools you're gonna need is a C-clamp. You have to have one of those, a regular screwdriver, and this is a 14mm socket. That's the size it needs to take it off here. So okay, take a 14mm socket and take these two nuts off of here. Let's try and get my wrench going the right way. Okay, there we go. Set that down there. Get the second one on the bottom. There we go. Okay, sometimes the caliper comes right off, sometimes it doesn't. So what I like to do is you take your screwdriver here. If it doesn't just slide right off, take your screwdriver in between your bracket and your caliper and just press up on that. Move it out a little tiny bit. And then you gotta get your handy dandy C-clamp here, and there's two little pistons inside your caliper. Well, this one has two. Some of them have one. This one has two. You need to compress those. There's a flat spot back here. There's two flat spots on this caliper. That's what you're going to use to put your C-clamp on. You want to make sure that you don't accidentally put it on your brake line. Alright, so let's compress our cylinders inside the caliper. You're going to want to make sure that you get them pushed in all the way. When I take the caliper off, I'm going to check that. I think the C-clamp's from the 50s, but it still works. So this is what I use for my brakes. Push them in all the way. Okay. You don't want to try and do it too fast. Let the calipers press in, the cylinders press in as much as, or fast as slow as they want. Don't try and force them. We're going to go up top here, make sure this one's pressed in. Make sure you get it on the flat spot. Okay, let's check that out. If you're afraid of getting dirty, I don't recommend this because you're going to get pretty dirty. Alright, let's see. Okay, here's the inside of the caliper and here's the pistons. They look pressed in pretty good. Let's set this off to the side here. Try not to let it hang down so you don't stretch out your rubber hose here. Okay, now your brake pads are just sitting right inside here. They pop right out of there. There's two little slots that they sit in. There's a slot here and a slot here. It's the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now get your brake pads. Put your new brake pads in. Stick it in the slot there. See? It's pretty easy, huh? Stick it in the slot there like that. Now these two little nuts move back and forth. See how it does that? That's just so it can adjust with your brake pads. When you put your caliper back on, you're going to have to press in this a little bit, and then same thing up top. You put the bottom one on first. Press your nut in if you have to. Same thing on the top. That was pretty easy. Well, let's get your line your holes up here. Start your screws. That's the bottom one, then the top one. Well, another thing you're going to want to check when you change your brake pads is make sure that your rotors are still nice and smooth. If they got grooves in them, there's probably still places that turn them, but not very many. A lot of places just want you to buy a new rotor, so you might have to change your rotor out. And on this, all you got to do is take this screw out, and then take off this bracket. There's two screws holding it on, and then your rotor will come off, and then you just put it all back together. We're just doing pads today. So let's tighten these screws back up. They just have to be pretty snug. They don't have to be super tight, but you definitely want them to be good and snug again. Put this back on there. There we go. Snug that up pretty good. And that's it for changing brake pads. Now all you gotta do is put your tire back on and make sure your lug nuts are good and tight, and that's it. So it looks pretty good in there. Make sure everything's tightened back the way it was. There's only, like I said, there's only 2 nuts to take off here to do this. So changing front brake pads is pretty easy. Usually it's the same thing in the back if you have disc brakes. So I hope you like my video. I hope it helps you out, save a little bit of money, because that's what I like to do. Let's get one more look at this. Oh, here's my this is my hillbilly phone holder that I made, so it's not so moving around as much. Alright guys, I hope you like my video. Thanks.